Hey all football followers out there in AFL land. Welcome to AFL Wit Wisdom for round 7. Round 7, a significant round coming up where we've got some recent signings of new young players on the horizon. From the Suns, Harley Bennell signed up to 2014, which is a great boost. They're starting to get together some of these prime picks that they made in the draft at the end of 2010, and it's all looking good for them. Very unlucky last week with Bock having a pretty nasty injury, and of course Hamlet's still on the sidelines and Riscatelli, but they're knocking on the door, and you'd expect that this week they get a win over GWS and cut the Giants down to size in the nation's capital this Sunday. My tip, of course, is the Suns. Friday night we get the struggling Demons against the Hawks. The Hawks, although they got over the Saints by 35 points last week, are not having it all their own way. You know, this is the start of the draw when they should be winning games, and we expect them to win this week. But don't be surprised with you know, with the D's, and they're starting to put up a bit of an effort because I think they've been embarrassed by their start. But the Hawks, 6 to 7 goals should see them home. And then we look at the Cats. Cats going over to Amy Stadium to face the Crows with Sando, the ex-Geelong assistant coach. He's got the Crows flying. Excuse the pun, the Crows flying. But the Cats, I believe, have got the class, and the class always rises to the top. So I believe the Cats will get the cream at Amy Stadium this week in a very, very close game. The Tigers play at the G. And Sydney are without the big G. Adam Goods, a big loss. I know Sydney have been flying, but they do need that little bit of class up forward that Goods provides. And unless Sam Reid can find touch, I think the Tigers are, you know, they've been knocking on the door for a couple of weeks. They got a win last week against Port to actually show credibility and prove that they're on the road to a finals position. I think this is their big chance. I expect the Tigers to get up by 1 or 2 kicks in a very, very close game with the G. The Bombers and West Coast, another blockbuster at Etihad. The Bombers have had a bit of a battle against the West Coast over the years, except at Etihad Stadium, where they won 3 out of the last 4. So I expect the Bombers, who are flying well, and yeah, in a really, really close game, I believe that they've got the goods to again create the upset. They knocked off Carlton, if you remember. Carlton had their first loss. Who to? The Bombers. West Coast, lightning strikes twice. So the Bombers is my pick. The Pies head to the Gabba, where poor old Lions have won 4 out of the last 20. One of those wins was against Collingwood. However, I believe that Collingwood this time are starting to get their game together. I know it's been a bit of a struggle, but sometimes when you're working hard and you're winning ugly, that's a good sign. I believe that they'll have to do that this week because the Lions have been embarrassed, and this is their last chance. So I expect the Pies to get up by 3 or 4 goals. The Dogs in North Melbourne. Well, North Melbourne come back off a 6-day break from the west, and yeah, look, I mean they've been going well this year, and they're good, honest toilers, and I think they're really showing a little bit of extra class. But the Dogs have been honourable. They've had 2 wins and a close loss to Collingwood. So I expect the Dogs to get up this week, and that'll be your closest game. I believe the Dogs, and if you take the double, the Dogs and the Bombers, I think you're on a winner. You'll get good odds. You'll probably get a 5 or 6 to 1 double price. So all you punters out there, that's the double for the weekend. Fremantle, well, poor old Port, and I think Fremantle will put their Port in dock. Excuse the pun again, but I believe that they'll be far too strong for Port. And Monday night, I've got to wait all the way to Monday night to see Carlton and St Kilda. St Kilda have had the wood on Carlton, winning 13 out of the last 15 clashes. But the last 2 games, Carlton have won, and this is the time when Carlton have come good. And I think their poor performance last week was due to a little bit of lethargy. I think players like Murphy and Judd back and the like will click into gear, and it's good night Saints on Monday night. All right, everybody. There's one message I give to you for all the Pies and the Bombers supporters. Don't forget, every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock is the club. Which club? The club, the Mighty Pies, on Channel 504. And at 9:30, you get the hanger with the Bombers, all the way from Windy Hill. So tune in, enjoy your week. Hope you're good punting. I hope your team wins, unless you're playing my team, of course, which is Go Pies!